बैथीमेट्रिक में आते हैं. बैथीमेट्रिक मीनिंग डेप्थ. So how we define the zone with depth, ocean zoning with depth, demarcation of oceans with depth. How the upper part is called, upper part how it will be named, not on the basis of the sun rays, but this time on the basis of the depth itself. So here is a diagram. Now this diagram will be little complex, but you can have a much better concentration, and then you can come out victorious. You have to come out victorious. This is your slope area, then this is the depth. All right, this is the diagram. Now say this is the high water tide. This is the high water tide. I'm calling it X. This point is X, and this is the low water tide. This is your Y, and between high water and tide, the mean which is taken will be called 0, and that's your sea level. This is your sea level. Now you have to learn how to measure the sea level. सी लेवल कैसे मेजर करते हैं? आज का क्लास बेसिक है, फंडामेंटल है, लेकिन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. यू विल फील लाइक एन ओशनोग्राफर. सो मीन सी लेवल is measured by by taking account of the high water tide and the low water tide. What is high water tide? Any part of the ocean, when the moon comes over, tide is a big chapter for us, but for the basics. So when high tide comes, the sea level has risen to the maximum, and when low water tide comes, it goes to the minimum. Sea level falls to the minimum. So that highest point and the lowest possible point of the tide will be called high water tide and the low water tide, and the mean, which is the central line between the two height and the depth, the highest point and the lowest point, will be called the sea level. This is how we measure the sea level. Now sea level is also called datum line. This sea level is also called datum. It is called the datum line. Datum line is the sea level which is used for measurement of all the altitudes and depth for a country. Should I repeat again? Datum line is the mean sea level from which the highest point and the lowest point, or the various altitudes and depth, are calculated or measured for a given country. That's datum line. If for the world it is taken, Greenwich will become the datum line. Fine. But if for India it is taken, your Chennai will be the datum line. Chennai is your datum line. Now Chennai is datum line because it matches with the average mean value of the Greenwich. This is how we take Chennai as the datum line. Now please understand, if the height of Kanchenjunga is measured, the height of Kanchenjunga is not measured from the valley there, or the Gangetic Plains, or the Kolkata, or the Howrah. वहां से नहीं होता है. The average depth, the average sea level is taken for Chennai, and with respect to that Chennai sea level, what is the height of Kanchenjunga? This is how it will be measured. Or for that matter, any mountain or any average height of the plateau will be measured from Chennai. Chennai is our datum line, please remember. Okay. Now, this is your sea level and the concept of high water tide and low water tide. Now, this part between high water tide and the low water tide is called the littoral zone. is called the littoral zone. Now this is very important for you to remember. What is littoral zone? This can be called O1, this can be pointed out O2, and this is your O. I hope it is visible. Are you able to see it? Write yes or no. So if you are able to see it, please write Y. So I can explain further, or maybe I have to, if I have to enhance my diagram, if I have to magnify my diagram, just let me know. But I'm using the widest space of my board. So you have O1, O2 and O. This is O1 and O2 is the littoral zone. And this is the mean sea level. Now if you move further with depth, so with depth, I'm drawing this 200-meter line, this 1000 meters line, this 3660 meters line, 3660 meter line, and then we can further classify. The depth line has been, bathymetry has been done. This is the bathymetry. This is what we call bathymetry. The depth को लिया जा चुका है. Now, okay, Anushka, yes. Faizan, yes. Okay, so this is the bathymetry, the depth which has been taken. I have taken depth of 0 to 200, 200 to 1000, 1000 to 3660. Or 2000 fathoms we call it. So 3660 meters, and this will be your 6000. 6000 meter is the, the maximum average depth which will come for the oceans. So these are 6000 meter. Now if this is littoral zone, this is called sublittoral. You have sublittoral zone. So littoral, sublittoral. And if you allow me to show a little more, this, if I can extend the diagram further, so this part will be called the supralittoral. So we have supralittoral जैसे होता है supraorbital ridge, ये supraorbital, the forehead, जब the protrusion, the exposed part, the protrusion, the protruded part. So this part of the sea beach, the coastal area which is exposed, will be called supralittoral. And then you have littoral between the high water tide and the low water tide. So this was your O1, high water to low water, is littoral zone. Then you have sublittoral zone till the depth of 200 meter, you can call it sublittoral. Then you have the benthic zone, then you have the abyssal zone, then you have the hadal zone, so please go through it, just go through it. Ramesh is my keen follower, he is writing Y. Aditya is also writing Y. Okay, now please understand, it will take some time. I will be really interested in discussion here, that we have supralittoral. What is supralittoral? Supralittoral is the exposed part of the sea beaches. Now when we say exposed part of the sea beaches, so it will be, the supralittoral could be submerged sometime when the high water tide comes. So some part of the supralittoral can be found during the high water tides. So on an average, we take this was your O, this is O1, this is O2. We can take it O3. So O to O3, O to O3, this will be supra, this is supralittoral, O to O3. यहां से यहां तक ये पूरा supralittoral होगा. Now this coincides actually. Now littoral will be O1 to O2. O1 to, sorry, O1 nahi, O, only O. Only O. यहीं पे लिखते हैं. दिस इज अ बेटर प्लेस. O2, नहीं, O1 to O2, right. O1 to O2 will be called littoral. And then sublittoral will be O2 to O4. O2 से O4 is sublittoral. Is sublittoral. Then O4 to O5, O4 to O5 is benthic. Is benthic. Then abyssal is O5 to O6. O5 to O6 is abyssal. And then O6 to O7, O6 to O7 is the Hadal. Is the Hadal zone. So just go through it. देखो क्या है ये. On the basis of the depth, there is the classification of ocean bottom. हम लोग इसमें what we are doing, we are classifying the ocean bottom, not the water zone. We are not classifying the maritime belts. We are dividing the ocean bottom on the basis of the depth. I hope you are able to appreciate, you are able to write. So O to O3, देख लो अच्छे से. O is the sea level, O3 is that higher point, the coastline, part of the coast. So that is your supralittoral. सुप्रालिटोरल को समझो. सुप्रालिटोरल में सम पार्ट विल बी एक्सपोज्ड ऑलवेज एंड सम पार्ट कैन बी सबमर्ज्ड बाय द ओशियनिक टाइड्स और वेव्स. दैट्स योर सुप्रा. लिटोरल मीनिंग द लैंड बिटवीन द कोस्टल एरिया बिटवीन, लिखते रहो, द कोस्टल एरिया बिटवीन the high water tide and the low water tide. Sublittoral means the depth below the littoral up to the depth of 200 meter, O2 to O4. This part will always be submerged under water. Now, very important thing which is to be shared now, important because very often you read read other materials or you read even internet. So in some of the explanations I have found also that littoral will be up to the depth of 200 meters, meaning continental shelf entirely is taken as littoral, but I don't agree to it. I have done enough research, so you have every reasons to believe me and go by my convictions. Littoral is O1 to O2, sublittoral is below it, and then 200 meters to 1000 meter is the benthic zone. Then 1000 meters to 3660 meter is the abyssal zone. And then 3660 meter, some books will give a data different from 3660, they will give you 4000 meters. Need not worry. So 4000 meters to 6000 meters will be called the Hadal zone. Hadal zone. I will have a quiz just to find out whether you guys are learning or not. So please respond and respond rapidly. Tell me, Hadal zone is the deepest part of the ocean, and the trenches, the oceanic trenches will be considered as the part of Hadal zone. So ocean trenches will be considered part of Hadal zone. Is it true or not? Please write something, true या false, ऐसे कुछ लिखो. Okay, true. Thank you. Now, coming to another part of our discussion. This was bathymetric, but now on the same diagram, we can have a very different classification that is based on the maritime zones or marine ecosystems. This also can be called some kind of biological division of the ocean or the eco-biozone of the ocean. We can call it eco-biozone of the ocean. This is how it was. This was your O1. This was your O3. This is how it was. Okay. Now, from the high water tide, yani ye line on this point, these two, this is called littoral. I have explained you earlier also. This is called littoral zone. Now this is your littoral between O1 and O2. This is your littoral zone. So these waters, look at these dotted lines. This is going to be tricky. You can get stuck. So just concentrate little more. So this is your dotted zone. This is the littoral zone. Now in this classification we are talking about the bioecological zones of the ocean. So as we are along the coastline, say we are along the coastline and we are walking on the surface of the water. Remember, we are not going in the depth of water. As we go in the depth of water, we have littoral, sublittoral, benthic, blah blah blah. Now, if we move on the surface of the water, so as we move on the surface of the water, the first segment, first zone again will be called littoral zone. So littoral zone is between the high water tide and the low water tide. This dotted one. Okay. Now, from 200 meter depth, I have taken this line. And I have taken this line here. This is your sea level. Sea level 200-meter depth. Now this zone will be called neritic. This is neritic zone. N-E-R-E-T-I-C. This is called neritic zone. Neritic zone. So you have littoral zone, you have neritic zone. Now littoral zone क्या था? High water tide, low water tide. Neritic क्या है? So neritic is incorporating some section of the littoral zone as well. Some section of littoral zone is gone with neritic. Fine. Now this entire, if you allow me to put these symbols here. So this crossed symbolic zone, inclusive of that three-dimensional water, not only the surface but also the depth is taken into consideration. So this was your littoral zone. This is your littoral zone. But as we take this, this part is called the neritic zone. How they are overlapping with each other. This is how this concept gets a little complex. Okay. Now after neritic zone, after this point, you have pelagic zone. This is your pelagic zone. This is called pelagic zone. Now some authors will call it, this part also they call it neritic pelagic. They don't call it neritic alone. They love to call it neritic pelagic. So in that sense, this entire zone will be called pelagic. कॉम्प्लेक्स तो नहीं है ना? देखो एक बार फिर से. I am getting off the board time and again so that I could see it properly. Littoral is between high water tide and low water tide, the dotted one. Neritic zone is sea level to the depth of 200 meter. And after the 200 meter depth, whatever remains will be called pelagic zone. Then I said, neritic zone will also be called neritic pelagic. So in that sense, the pelagic will be extending from the coastline to the entire ocean, meaning the entire open ocean can be called pelagic ocean. I hope there is no confusion. The entire open ocean is called pelagic ocean. So some scientists will consider the entire ocean as pelagic. Some consider beyond 200 meter depth it is. After neritic it is pelagic. After neritic, however, it is called the high ocean. The high ocean it will be called. So high ocean is nothing but pelagic zone. So we have littoral, neritic, pelagic. Now in pelagic, this is your sea level. I have taken this as sea level. This is the mean sea level. This is a sea level taken. Now sea level to the 200 meter depth, this will be called epipelagic. Epipelagic. 200 to 1000 is called mesopelagic. Then it is called benthopelagic. And then further it is called, below it is called benthopelagic. Then it is called abyssopelagic. Abyssopelagic. Now look at all this analysis with depth, classification of ocean with depth. Epipelagic, epi meaning outer, external, epipelagic, mesopelagic, and then you have benthopelagic. Benthopelagic is also called bathypelagic. You can call it bathypelagic. It is called bathypelagic. Most of the books will have bathypelagic. And then you have abyssopelagic. Abyss meaning greater depth. Abyss. Bathy is also high, deep things, greater depths are called bathy. Meso is middle. Epi is outer. Okay, so you have this ocean zoning. अब एक नोट लिखो, तो एक कुछ लिखते हैं. प्लीज राइट. लिखो डिस्कस द मैरीन इकोबायोजोन्स and their biodiversity. लिखो. हाउ दिस विल बी आंसर्ड. इसका आंसर कैसे लिखेंगे? ये पहला क्वेश्चन इज द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन which we are learning. तो in this classification you will write first littoral zone, then neritic zone, then pelagic zone, and then pelagic zone will be further classified into epipelagic, mesopelagic, bathypelagic and abyssopelagic. So write for littoral zone, you can describe it as the region, the area, the zone between the high water tide and the low water tide. Now this will have mainly amphibians. This region will be characterized by amphibians and snails and oysters and even burrowing animals, rodents. These species are found in the littoral area. Littoral areas can have some variety of fish as well. Obviously the planktons are available. The food is available. Now come to the neritic zone. Neritic zone will be the most important part of the maritime zone or ecobiozone, because neritic zone is also coincidental with the photic zone. So the photic zone and neritic zone are similar, meaning in neritic zone the sun rays are very active. And since the sun rays are active, the life is possible. So highest biodiversity will be found in the neritic zone, and neritic zone is also coincidental with the continental shelf area. Continental shelf area will be marked by the mixing of the nutrients brought from the land and nutrients brought by the sea waves. So also it is a zone of enormous amount of nutrients opulence of nutrients, sun rays, active sun rays. Then neritic zone is also characterized by the oxygenation of water. The waves which are traveling from 1,000 miles, they pick up atmospheric gases and they mix it with the water in the form of microscopic air bubbles. This process is called oxygenation of the water. Now this oxygenated water is very important for the life, the marine life, the fishes, the other animals, the aquatic animals, the aquatic lives, they thrive on oxygenated water. So neritic zone is marked by oxygenated water as well as the photic zone, the sun rays. Then you have the pelagic zone. So pelagic zone we can write it is the open ocean. Pelagic zone is the open ocean. And it is also called the high sea. But pelagic zone is biological desert. Biological desert. Life is nearly absent. Now in biological desert, the concept is not the absence of a species, but fewer species. Biological deserts will have not the absence of a species, but it will have the fewer species, or dominant one or two species are found. Otherwise, biodiversity is very low, very minimum, negligible diversity. Like even Sargasso Sea is a biological desert, because Sargasso Sea will have sargassum and other variety of animals and plants are absent, nearly absent. So your pelagic ocean is not bereft of life. It has life, but limited life, and one or two dominant species, few dominant species are found. So we call it biological desert. Now pelagic ocean can be further divided with depth. So in marine ecobiozone you have first the epipelagic zone. The epipelagic zone, as you can understand, that it is part of the photic zone, but despite being part of the photic zone, it doesn't have the privilege of getting the nutrients from the land, because that privilege is with neritic zone. So it will have low biodiversity because nutrients are absent, despite the fact that it has enough amount of energy, solar energy, but nutrients are absent. And moreover, it doesn't have oxygenation of water because breakers are not there, surfs are not there, the breaking sea waves are not there, which will capture the oceanic, the atmospheric oxygen and mix it with the water. So please understand that the pelagic zone will be a biological desert. The reasons I have given you, despite the fact that it has energy, solar energy, it doesn't have nutrients, and there is also relative absence of oxygenation of the water, because the surfs, the sea waves का एक form होता है surfs, and the breakers are not there. Okay, so epipelagic will have planktons, it will have planktons, and it will have algae, and it will have some kind of primary production and biomass production. The swimmers, the largest swimmers, the whales, the mammals, the sharks could be found in this area. Even some fishes, the migratory fishes like the salmon. So salmon fishes can be found in this area. So such lives are possible. Okay. Now mesopelagic. So mesopelagic is an intermediate zone, and mesopelagic area will have some life, maybe again the migratory animals, very limited aquatic lives are found there. Limited aquatic lives. Okay, then you have mesopelagic, bathopelagic and abyssopelagic. These three zones have no life. There is an absence of life there. They are bereft of life. So here only epipelagic will have life and mesopelagic can have some life but not fixed. ये डायस्फोटिक जोन है, यहाँ पे डिफ्यूज्ड लाइट है, तो लाइफ विल नॉट बी परमानेंट इन द मेसोपेलाजिक, but the life will be permanent in epipelagic, and bathy and abysso have absolutely no lives. Okay, so this was a discussion on the bio-ecozone of the ocean. I hope you have this diagram. Mangroves also exist in the littoral zone. Yes, true. Mangroves are very much part of the littoral zone. They can be found in the supralittoral as well, where sometime the massive tides during the lunar solar, the motion, the tides sometime go beyond the littoral zone and mangroves can grow in that area, supralittoral also. But mangroves are actually called littoral forest. So this is true. Littoral zone can have mangroves. The neritic zone can have corals. So here you can have mangroves. This part can have corals. And this entire, the rest pelagic part will have planktons. Planktons and the other varieties. So this is planktonic zone, coral zone, mangrove zone. So this diagram will show you the biodiversity of the ocean. This topic is over.